I am going to tell you my story because this whole concept of brand burnout is deeply personal for me. In 2019, I started my business in 2015. In 2019, I had been unhappy in what I was doing for a really long time. I was definitely caught up in that need to accommodate everyone in every single way in order for me to feel like I had value. I was stretching myself super thin. And then I had a daughter, and a month after she was born, the state shut down for the pandemic. And I, like, in all of my postpartum nonsense and the world being off kilter, I completely fell apart. I realized how exhausted I was. And it wasn't exhaustion from staying up at night with the baby. She was easy. It was this exhaustion that I was feeling of, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep building this brand that is making me so unhappy, because your brand isn't your image. That's a piece of it. Your brand is your soul. I had been trying to fit myself into a role that didn't suit me, that didn't fill my heart and make me excited to go to work. When I first built my brand, when I first started out, this is back in 2015, I felt like I had no idea what I was doing. I really did have no idea what I was doing, because when we're starting a business, we really don't know very much. And I was female, showing up to predominantly masculine networking situations. I was usually the youngest person in the room. And so I built my brand around covering up for all of those personal things that felt like they would mean that I wasn't allowed to sit at the table. I built my brand to be this shield that protected me from feeling like I wasn't good enough, feeling like I wasn't valuable, showing up to a space where everybody's like a lawyer or a real estate agent, and they all have jobs that are really easy to understand. And then there's little old me showing up as a graphic designer at the time, and trying to explain what I did to a room full of people who were not creative and didn't understand. So I built a brand that felt very structured, very corporate, and nothing like me. Masculine colors, all of this stuff. So the front-facing stuff, the visual stuff, definitely didn't feel like me. But even the way that I was performing these services didn't feel like me. It was the way I wrote an email. That's a part of my brand. How you experience me is a part of my brand. And the way that I was showing up was so not me. And over the years, I started to get more and more comfortable and started to feel more and more brave, which was great. And each time I got to that point, I would put on another layer. I would put on another layer on top of that original brand that I had built that was fearful and felt like I didn't deserve to be a business owner. And I just kept putting on layer after layer after layer. And it got heavy. As you can imagine, carrying all of that around, it got heavy. So in 2019, when everything fell apart, when I fell apart, I had to tear it all down. And I am so glad that I did, because embracing myself within the soul of my brand was the single most powerful thing that I've ever done as a business owner and as a human being. The heartbeat of every brand is human. And ignoring that heartbeat and trying to pretend that it's not important or it's not there is how you burn out. That is the single most effective way to get exhausted in your business. So take a step back and ask yourself, who am I and what do I love? Take away all of the stuff in your business, all the CRM, how you deliver your emails, all that stuff. And just ask yourself, who am I and what do I love? And how does that love show up in my business and in my brand and what I'm putting into the world?